And such threats, when left vague, tend to be taken personally by everyone, especially at a time when Mao's death had suddenly invalidated all the bureaucrats' insurance policies. Before the death of Mao, anything went, because nobody knew what Mao wanted and what he would put up with. Hence the attempt to poison Zhou Enlai, the plot to sabotage the plane bringing him back from Vietnam, and other dirty tricks whose traces will no doubt emerge one day from the archives. There was even a rumor after the death of Zhu Da that he had been liquidated in a phony car accident. But since you really have to work on it to squash a bulletproof limousine between two armored trucks, such rumors tended to give nervous bureaucrats pause and make them reflect that most violent crimes occur in the home. In such circumstances, when everyone is unsure of his friends as well as of his enemies, the bold stroke is the only card worth playing. With Mao gone, everyone starts running frantic checks on the number of friends he has won, the number of people he can influence, the amount of support he has in the provinces, and what advantages he can still derive from his inevitably precarious position at the center of power. For 2 weeks, the highest dignitaries of the regime played chicken. Who can hold on to the hot potato of power the longest and give the impression, especially in the provinces, that he's not burning his fingers? Nobody can move until he has convinced the others that he's not fooling. Mao is gone, and the cloak of legitimacy he had lent to the so-called Gang of Four takes about 3 weeks to fall apart at the seams. No wonder Wang Hongwen is making a long face at the funeral. 中国人民解放军中华人民共和国的起草者和人民领袖. In his funeral oration, Hua Guofeng fails to use the loaded phrase, proceed according to the decisions already taken. What this means, and everyone gets the message, is that Hua has decided to dump the mad ideologues. He might as well have come out and said, their goose is cooked. The mad ideologues bite their nails. According to a persistent rumor, they try to bump off Deng Xiaoping when he comes to Peking to pay his respects to the great helmsman and have a drink with his buddies. The Four pick October 4th as their D-Day. They print up thousands of official portraits of themselves, and they give the signal to their supporters by publishing an editorial in the daily paper Clarity. The day before their attempted coup, Wang Hongwen goes around proclaiming, "Open your eyes, comrades. Wait till you see the revisionism that's going to come out of the Central Committee." This is not too complimentary for the Soul Brothers on the Central Committee, and the Soul Brothers are less than overjoyed to learn that Wang Hongwen has been handing out the latest machine pistols and the ammunition to go with them to the Shanghai militia. In fact, a force of 100,000 has been fitted out for several weeks in readiness for a full-scale march on Peking. Hua Guofeng is not pleased, but his public security forces are simply not strong enough to take care of business on their own. So he calls on Ye Qianying, who has been pulling the army together under his own leadership. Ye Qianying is a guy who knows how to keep his cool. After all, he's seen a lot of slaughter flow under the bridge since 1924. And he agrees to take care of the Shanghai Four. October 6th, Hua Guofeng convenes the political bureau, including the mad ideologues. When they walk in, they are grabbed and trussed up like chickens. Ma Xiaoliu, chief of the Peking militia, realizes that they are not coming out of the meeting, and he sends his people into Chungnanhai, where they run smack into the regular army. Exit Ma Xiaoliu, shot in the backside by one of his own men. Ma Yuanxin, who has been biding his time with his tank division in the outer suburbs, is suddenly in big trouble. And it's bang bang, no more Ma Yuanxin. Comes the dawn, and the People's Daily, the New China Press Agency, the universities, and a bunch of other speakeasies are under new management. Meanwhile, the three leaders of the Shanghai militia have been asked up to Peking and persuaded without too much problem that the East Coast racket has indeed changed hands. And since Su Shiyo has been sailing up the Yangtze from Canton and is ready, if need be, to attack the Shanghai militia with troops from the Nanking military region, the game is over before it has really begun. And in the early hours of October 7th, Hua Guofeng is able to give the Central Committee a detached and detailed report of all these alarms and excursions. There follows an explosion of popular jubilation, the likes of which has not been seen since 1949. In the West, the bourgeois press talks about exorcism. And the revolutionary press, which believes the bourgeois press, talks about counter-revolution. What are these people doing? Laying the foundation stone of the Mao Mausoleum. Enough said. Has a page been turned? Well, sort of. Now you see a wart, now you don't. Let's see it again. Convinced? Good. So are the Chinese people, and all the more so since Hua Guofeng has just told them himself in December 1976 that he intends to follow the orientation and directives of the late great helmsman. That he is going to put checks on Deng Xiaoping. That he is not going to be too hard on Mrs. Mao. She was the chairman's wife when all is said and done, and to degrade her utterly would amount to blackening Mao's memory. Nobody is about to forget Hua Guofeng's warm congratulations to the militiamen who put down the April 1976 demonstrations. And nobody is about to forget that Hua Guofeng's sole claim to legitimacy is a note scribbled by Mao which reads, "With you in charge, my mind is at rest."